why modern women cannot tell you the truth. Let's go on and talk about it.
I was just patient, never try skating. Fuck niggas hating.
Telling the truth is not easy. It takes some work. It takes some processing because you have to deal with things before you can actually find yourself in a place in life where you're being transparent. Okay, so that's one thing that you should note is that it's not easy. And I'm not saying this to justify somebody being a liar. I'm just saying you have to deal with shame. You have to deal with accountability. And then you have to deal with, acceptance of reality being there's consequences for your actions. And you have to be courageous enough to stand up to that, those consequences, even if it means taking long-term losses of things that you want in your life. That is not easy, okay? I just wanted to point that out, that telling the truth and being honest, it's just not easy. But once you do create a lifestyle of transparency and honesty, it is liberating. They say the truth will set you free. That is true. Once you are free from the bondage of having to tell a lie, having to be ashamed, having to pretend, then you can just speak your mind and everything's okay. You don't have to focus on remembering things that weren't true, that you have to remember who you told and what details and all that stuff like that. It's still a lot of work to be a liar. So I don't know if I would say it's equally as much work to be a liar as it is to be honest, but I would say, the outcome of telling the truth and being truthful and honest and transparent and things like that, it feels good. It sets you free. You are free from bondage, free from trauma. You're like, you can be honest and you can, you don't have to worry about any consequences. I mean, of course, if your behavior is bad and then you're honest about that bad behavior, there's still going to be consequences. But my point in this part right here is just that being, making sure that you are an honest person and then you also do honest things and you do honorable things, then you can be honest about them. Without wasting any more of your time, let me jump right into why modern women simply just cannot tell you the truth. And when I say cannot, it doesn't mean that it's against their will. It just goes against who they are. It goes against their character. It goes against everything that they've created for themselves. Let's jump right in. Number one reason why a modern woman cannot tell you the truth is because the truth is not going to get her anywhere. In her existence and in her journey, she has learned that lying gets her more. So if she tells the truth, she'll get this much. If she lies, she'll get that much. She's going to lie. It doesn't serve her to tell the truth. Her selfishness, her entitlement, her desires, her lusts, her insatiable desires dictate that she needs to lie. In order to get those things accomplished, she needs to lie. To tell the truth would be to settle for less. Okay? This is literal here. This is really going to be the mind state of a modern woman. Okay, so she's going to lie to you, bro. Because to lie to you means she looks better in your eyes. You provide more. She tells you her rent is $2,000 if you're one of those men who pays women's rent. I ain't, but if you are, then she can tell you her rent is $2,000 when really it's $1,100. She can pocket $900. She could tell you her hair took $500 to get done when it took $200 to get done. She can pocket $300. This is what life has taught her. This is why she cannot tell you the truth. Number two, reason why a modern woman cannot tell you the truth. Being honest in the mind of a modern woman means giving you the upper hand, making herself vulnerable. Ill. She don't want to do that. Okay? Her mind state is, I have to play you or you'll play me. And this doesn't matter if your intentions are pure or not. That doesn't matter. If she plays you before you play her, then you never was in a position to play her. She's protected. That's her mind state. To protect yourself to that degree, you couldn't do that telling the truth. When you're telling the truth and you're making yourself vulnerable to people, you put yourself in a position where people can take advantage. They can spread your business. They can blackmail you. That's what being honest gets you in the mind of a modern woman. Well, obviously, the way she's living, the things that she's doing, she cannot be honest about because they can be used against her. But in all fairness, being honest to the wrong people will get your business in the streets. Being honest to the wrong people will get you robbed, will get you hurt, will get you played. So she's thinking play or be played. And that's why the truth is absent when she speaks. Number 3, telling the truth blocks her opportunity to use manipulation. I mean, manipulation is how she gets everything done. To tell the truth would be to undo and unlearn all of those processes to learn something else that she has never given a shot. Or maybe she gave a shot and it didn't work. She's not able to take advantage anymore. She's not able to manipulate things to go in her favor anymore. She gave up that ability by telling the truth. She's not going to do it. So telling the truth for a modern woman eliminates her skills, her manipulative skill set, her mind games, her gaslighting, her deflecting, all of these things she needs to do to maintain the power dynamic. She's giving up by telling the truth. She's not going to do it. Number 4, it would take having accountability and knowing how to process your shame in a honorable manner, in a healthy manner, in order to tell the truth. We all know that modern women don't take accountability. That ain't going to happen. She cannot be honest. She cannot tell you the truth. That means take accountability. She's allergic to accountability. She'd die if she took accountability. Not literally. She believes she would. So this is another reason why she cannot tell you the truth, because she'd have to take accountability. She had to actually be willing to make adjustments and authentic change. She's not. She believes who she is, the way she does things, works best for her. Number 5, being honest in the mind of a modern woman means exposing and destroying her false image. Of course, she's not going to think about it like that. She believes who she says she is. Everything about her from the head to toe is fake. From the roof, the weave, fake. Eyelashes, veneers, implants, designer clothes, BBL, designer shoes. This is a fake woman. She has to put on this image that she is of more value than she really is. Now, even if she has an all-natural body, she's like, this is all me. She still is empty on the inside. So whenever she's being nice, respectful, nurturing, compassionate, this is an act. This is a selfish woman. This is a woman who only can think about herself, who seeks to gain things for herself. She is not considerate of others' feelings. She's not looking to add anything to your life. She's looking for what you can provide to hers. So to be honest and tell you what her intentions are, that eliminates her opportunity to get those things done. Because if I told you, hey, look, I'm going to milk you for all your money, and we can have intimacy from time to time, but I'm going to probably fake that too. And hope you're ready for the ride. You're going to be like, I ain't going nowhere with you. Why would I shoot myself in the foot like that if I was a modern woman? I wouldn't. This is why she cannot tell you the truth, bro. Number 6, watching people believe in her lies makes her feel alive. This is a pathological liar. Somebody who makes up stories just for entertainment, just to make you laugh, just to get that instant, short-lived validation and admiration from people. And in that process, you find out that this person, when they walk off, they are back to their normal self. They are back in a position of where they're empty and their value has dissipated because they had to make up a story to begin with that wasn't true just to simply entertain you. Number 7, she's afraid of being judged. Obviously, there's things that she has done or she is currently doing that she knows isn't right. She knows that can, get her in trouble. That would pretty much people would ridicule, talk down, distance themselves. That's counterintuitive to what she's trying to do. She has to lie. Her lifestyle dictates that she needs to lie about these things. She cannot afford to come out and be honest about these things to no degree. Okay? She's dealing with the shame of the things she's doing right now. That's why she has to lie to cover them up. Anybody who is not ashamed of what they're doing, there will be no need for them to lie about it. Number 8, she needs to control the narrative. She has to either be the hero or the victim in every story she tells. This is literal right here. I had a girl one time. We broke up. I broke up with her actually because she was a very passive aggressive woman. But I told her in the beginning that passive aggression was one of my pet peeves or deal breakers. And I don't think she, tried to play with me. I think that she wasn't educated on what passive aggression was or that she was even passive aggressive. But through the process of dating me, I pointed it out because that's what I do. It was a red flag. I addressed it. And we ended up breaking up because that was something that was embedded in her character. That's how she, got things done, is by being passive aggressive and giving a silent treatment and sulking and things like that. Making complissalts, which is a compliment blended with an insult. She would do stuff like that. And I was like, that's indirect conversation. That's indirect communication. I'm more of a direct person. And that wouldn't have worked for me. That's my personal preference. And when we came back around about 6 to 8 months later, we tried to give it another shot. And I asked her a question I probably didn't need to ask her. I said, she wanted me to come around her family again for an event. I said, what was the narrative when I left? And she said, they came up with their own narrative. I said, so how they going to feel about me when they see me again? I pretty much got her to admit that, well, I said some bad stuff about you because I was mad at you. Exactly. You're mad at me for breaking up with you because you're passive aggressive. I can imagine what the narrative was. So these people have to control the narrative. They have to be the hero or the victim of every story they tell anybody. And unless they really were the victim in that story, telling a lie would make them the victim. And unless they really were the hero telling a lie, they can make themselves the hero. Number 9, they can't cope with reality. So reality is something that they don't want to live in. They don't like the way reality is. Most of us don't like reality. That's why we spend our whole lives making a reality for ourselves. We're not pretending. We actually want to adjust our income. We actually want to adjust our lifestyle. We don't want to pretend. But if reality is that hard for you, you would just pretend that you're not in it. Instead of doing the work and changing your reality. We were all given that same reality, but these people want to cheat to appear to be in an elevated reality, if that makes sense, as opposed to the people that take it step for step. And they want to appear to be in a higher category so that they can dwell amongst people who are already in that category. And by dwelling amongst people who are already in the category that they want to be in and that haven't earned their position in, they're thriving on the potential opportunity to extract information and resources from people who live in that reality. This is why they have to lie. Hypergamy, which most modern women thrive in and live by, in hypergamy being always seeking the next best thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why if they have a man who makes 5 figures, they want a man who makes 6. Once they get a man who makes 6, if a man who makes 7 comes around, she'll elevate with him. She'll leave him behind. They have to be with the top tier guy. That's what hypergamy is, always needing to date up. That's why these women can be broke, but require that a man be rich, because that is hypergamy. And I'm not justifying that. It doesn't make any sense. But that's what these women are doing. Okay? She would, in order to find a guy who is on this level, she dresses like that. So that's when she go gets those knockoff purses, Dior, Fenty. Well, Fenty's easy. Fendi. You know what I'm saying? She goes and she gets these high fashion brands so that she appeals to the high fashion man, the high value man. Lastly, number 10. But before I go to number 10, let me just add one note to the not being able to cope with reality. This is going to be somebody who is going to be addicted to the validation and dopamine, attention, admiration, addicted to sex, drugs, and or alcohol. Okay? Because, she can't cope with reality. She is using addiction to deal with reality. Lastly, number 10, though. This isn't a God-fearing woman. This isn't a woman who takes refuge in the word. This isn't a woman who runs back to a humble place to recenter. This isn't a person who self-reflects. This isn't a person who is righteous or even has the desire to be righteous. This is probably a person that can't even say God's name. Okay, this is probably a person that would never step foot in the church. And if she does, she'd be ready to leave as soon as she entered. She probably says she doesn't go to church because church people are hypocrites and they're judgmental. And so you can believe that her moral compass isn't attached to anything of morals. You know what I'm saying? Anything that is, going to benefit anyone other than herself. Okay? If you like this video or if it resonates with you, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. But if you're new to my channel, my name is Jerome, and this has been another episode of The Superb Word. Until next time, 2 fingers. All right.